It's Monday, December 8th, and today I'm just wondering what the College Football Playoff Committee was thinking when they published their final rankings and their college football playoff teams.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Eyeing retirement? We aim to turn your nest egg into a paycheck with half the amount you've been led to believe. Fluent Financial combines in-house portfolio design risk management with income-generating investments designed to aid your financial independence. Our goal is to develop an effective portfolio strategy to help you retire sooner and have a better lifestyle. Fluent Financial can also implement a program that allows business owners to install a cash balance plan, which may potentially reduce income tax payments. You've worked hard to become successful. Let us help develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you. Learn more today about Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. For more information or to schedule a meeting, visit fluentfinancial.com or call 972-852-4800.
First, I realize my opinion is in the minority here. Lots of other people think the other way, including all the butt kissers at ESPN who are falling all over themselves agreeing with the College Football Playoff Committee's choices. That's ESPN that spends millions, billions, trillions, godzillions televising college football. Before we get into the particular choices, I'd like to ask you to remember something. Do you remember the BCS? How much we hated it? How much when the BCS came out, we disagreed with some of the things that they had done? Well, congratulations to the old BCS. They now have company because the current system is broken. Well, let's begin with the national championships itself. It is comprised of 12 teams. Theoretically, it's the 4 champions of the power conferences plus the best team from the group of 5. That's all the other conferences. The best of those conferences gets an automatic bid. And then the committee fills it out with all of the best teams remaining. Except not this year. This year, Notre Dame, a 10-2 season record, is not in the playoffs. BYU, 11-2, didn't make it. Utah, 10-2. Vandy, 10-2. Get out of here. And Texas, 9-3. Now you're saying, wait a minute, a 3-loss team has never made it. Well, one made it this year, Alabama. Those teams I've just run off, Notre Dame, BYU, Utah, Vandy, and Texas, are all ranked in the top 15 teams in the country. Yet none of them made the final playoffs. Easing into the final playoff spot was James Madison. James Madison poked its nose into the very back of the rankings right at the end of the season. And there's this clause in the college football playoff system that if the champion of one of those 4 power conferences, Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC, well, if that team's not ranked, then the committee takes another team from the group of 5. Not necessarily the next best team available, Notre Dame, BYU, Utah, Vanderbilt, Texas, but the next team from the lower tiers, if they're in the top 25. In this case, 5-loss Duke in the ACC Championship beat Virginia in an overtime thriller. But Duke has 5 losses. Committee doesn't want them in the playoffs. And by the way, nobody else does either. But James Madison is welcome. James Madison's in the playoffs by this clause, despite the fact that 11 power conference teams that are more highly rated but won't get invitations in the playoffs, they don't get in. James Madison does. So we've got a playoff without the previously listed. Notre Dame, BYU, Vandy, Utah, and then 9-3 Texas. But so much for this broken system that somehow has all those teams out, but James Madison in. Let's go to some individual committee decisions. In the latest rankings Sunday, Miami jumped Notre Dame. But the week before, Notre Dame was ahead of Miami. And the week before that, Notre Dame was ahead of Miami. And the week before that, Notre Dame was ahead of Miami. So, wait a minute. Neither team played this past weekend. So, how does Miami move ahead of Notre Dame if neither team played last weekend? Well, it's because, as the critics and the committee says, Notre Dame lost to Miami on the field. Yes, they did. Miami beat Notre Dame by 3 points in a wonderful toss-up college football game. Now, if that had happened last weekend, I'd understand the committee's move to put Miami ahead of Notre Dame. If it had happened in the last month, I'd understand. If it had happened in the last quarter of this year, but it didn't. Miami's victory over Notre Dame, that coin toss game, came in late August. It was the first game of the season. Now, what's happened since that game? Notre Dame lost one more game. It was by 1 point to number 7 ranked Texas A&M. Miami, on the other hand, by the way, Notre Dame, after losing that second game of the season, won 10 straight games by victory margins ranging from 10 to 63 points. And by the way, the 63-point win was over a power conference team. Miami, since that win over Notre Dame, they lost to both LSU and SMU, which were not ranked in the final top 25 teams. These two teams each finished 10-2. But the committee moved Miami ahead of Notre Dame based on a game played more than 100 days ago, and a game that was a 3-point difference. Instead of the season's body of work, which, pardon me, but I thought that's what college rankings were all about. But instead of the body of work, I believe Notre Dame's is superior. Notre Dame's out, Miami's in. Also out, 11-2 BYU got a little bit of a shaft. BYU's two losses each came to the number 4 ranked team in the country, Texas Tech. Other than that, BYU won 11 games including 3 over teams ranked in the final top 25, and another over 8-4 Iowa State. Let's go on to another decision. Alabama is the first 3-loss team ever invited to the college playoffs. But 3-loss Texas, ranked number 13 in the final rankings, was given no shot at all. Came to the final weekend and said, no matter what circumstances, Texas isn't getting in. But Alabama, which on the final weekend had the living bejeebers beaten out of them by Georgia for their 3rd loss, Alabama was not only in, but comfortably in at number 9. Let's look at the resumes of these 2 teams. Okay. Each lost 3 games. Alabama lost to Georgia, Oklahoma, and 5-7 Florida State. Texas lost to Georgia also. Number 2 in the country, Ohio State, and 4-5 Florida. Well, which of those bad losses was the better? Alabama's loss to Florida State or Texas' loss to Florida? Well, in the season-ending game, Florida just drilled Florida State 40-21. How does one of these, Alabama, easily make it into the playoffs, while the other, Texas, didn't have a chance at all entering the final discussions? The playoffs begin in a week, a little over a week. On that opening weekend, number 5, Oregon, will host number 12, James Madison. What do you think the Ducks would prefer? To play James Madison over Notre Dame, BYU, Vanderbilt, Utah, Texas? But that's what we have now. And what we have now is broken. What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service, a cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere, and, of course, great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp, Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant, 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House, the original Bob's on Lemon Avenue, and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. My wife Mary's the co-creator of Full Moon Healing Balm, and I guess I'm the reason this terrific cream was developed. A few years ago, I began getting these huge, ugly blood blotches just beneath the skin of my arms and hands. The condition's called senile purpura. And no, you don't have to be senile to experience this embarrassment. It happens as you age. And then to cover it up, we begin wearing long sleeves even when it's hot. It took 2 years working with a New Jersey lab to refine the all-natural ingredients of Full Moon Healing. Gently massage a very small amount into the skin, and within a day, the blotches begin to fade. Senile purpura usually takes weeks to disappear, but this balm cuts the timeline to about a week. And ordering's so easy. Just go to the website, fullmoonhealingco.com.
And now a word from our title sponsor. Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluent Financial, retire earlier, live better. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon in Dallas and in Craig Ranch in McKinney. Bob's, a Dallas tradition for more than 30 years.
If you've enjoyed Just Wondering, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will land in your mailbox early every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Should you know a sports fan who might like our work, please share our contact information with that person. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering. I'm Norm Hitzges, and know that every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitzges, and I'll just be wondering too.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.